This is session number 2, and this has to do again with advice for young people. And when I'm speaking of young people, I'm talking about young people who are adults, but they're living out on their own, away from their parents. When you're living at home, it's easy to become dependent on your parents to do things for you, and your parents generally want to do things for you. They want to help you because you were once a young child. Sometimes they want to continue doing a lot of things that they've always done, but there comes a point when young people do need to become more independent. The thing I want to talk about today is vehicle maintenance. And a lot of what I'm talking about is preventive vehicle maintenance. If you have a car, you should always check the tire pressure. Find out from your manual or from someone who knows what is the proper tire pressure for your tires. It's usually around 30 to 32 pounds per square inch. So keep your tires inflated. Every time you fill up with gas, raise the hood, look under there, and see if you notice anything wrong. Like if you noticed something was wet, there was water, or if you noticed there was some oil on the engine somewhere, you'd know something was wrong. But there are several things you can check routinely. One is the oil. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it off, put it back in, pull it out again, make sure it's at the correct level. If it indicates that it's low, you'll need to buy some oil. Be sure you find out what the correct weight of the oil is and what kind of oil you should be using before you put some oil in. Another thing is to look at your coolant reservoir. It's a plastic container, and we usually have marks for hot and cold levels. There should at least be some visible coolant in there, but check and look at the levels, make sure it's okay. There's another plastic reservoir, which is usually your windshield washer solvent, and that's easy to check. You can just look and to see if there's a reasonable amount in there, and if not, you can add some if you have some. Another thing is the power steering fluid. There's usually a cap that you can unscrew and pull out. Usually has a little dipstick on it. If not, you can look down in the reservoir and determine if you have the correct level of power steering fluid. With the brake fluid, there's another plastic reservoir. It's usually near the firewall or the back of the hood area that has brake fluid in it, and usually you can see whether there's enough in there. If not, it's easy enough to add brake fluid. Again, you just need to make sure you're putting the correct kind of brake fluid in, and just take the top off and pour the fluids in. Usually when you get your oil changed, which should be at least every 3,000 miles, the person doing the service on the car will usually top off these fluids. But it's good to check these fluid levels every time you fill up with gas. While the car is filling up with gas, all you have to do is pop your hood and get you a napkin or a paper towel, and check those fluid levels, especially that oil. You don't need to run an engine low on oil, and you need to always be sure that you have the correct pressure in your tires. That will help in a lot of ways. Help on the wear and tear on your tires, and also help with your gas mileage. But this is just another session where I'm offering some advice to young people. I'm calling this fatherly advice, and I hope you will accept it. And you know that All I'm trying to do is help. Well, have a good day, and thanks again for listening.